if you're lactose intolerant, you can't watch this movie because it's got so much cheese.
Sorry, yeah, I gotta go. You guys can do this on your own now.
Nope, end it there. You agree 100%. I'm right.
Welcome back, fellas.
Hi, James.
Hello.
Hi, friends. Okay, so this time, after we had a little bit of a hiatus, baby hiatus
For us,
for us,
not for the listeners.
not for the listeners. Listeners, you get content every week, hot off the presses. The Flicks fellas, though, we've been taking a little hiatus. So we're here to talk about the new Netflix original movie, Red Notice. Red Notice is an action comedy movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Gal Gadot, and
Gal Gadot.
Ryan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gadot. She's Wonder Woman, dude.
Yeah, she is Wonder Woman. There were times when I was watching this movie and I was like watching her in the fight sequences and I was like, Wonder Woman? This is a movie starring John Hartley, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's character, and in his global pursuit of an art thief. It finds him smack dab in the middle of a daring heist where he unfortunately has to time up with the world's greatest art thief, Nolan Booth, played by Ryan Reynolds, in order to catch the most wanted art thief in the world, the Bishop, played by Gal Gadot. The high-flying adventure that ensues takes the trio around the world and across the dance floor and trapped in a secluded prison, into a jungle and through, worst of all, each other's company. So, boys, what do we think? Let's start with Joey this time.
Okay, let's go. My first reaction was I love a good art heist movie and plot, and I didn't know anything about this movie going in. I just knew it's been Netflix's #1 movie of all time, and it's super popular, and everyone's talking about it, and I was excited. And when I found out it was like an art heist, I was like, oh, cool, let's go. I ultimately thought that the plot was kind of, I don't say unoriginal, but it was very, kind of cookie cutter, kind of.
Yeah.
It was very fun and exciting, and I loved the wit and the charm and the humor behind it. But the plot and the twist kind of all felt like nothing too original. But I had a great time watching it. Loved it. Loved Ryan Reynolds. Loved Dwayne "The Rock." And it was just, I enjoyed it.
If I'm going to be honest, I think that might be the only time in my life I've ever heard anyone refer to The Rock as Dwayne.
Just Dwayne. We're buddies. We're
Dwayne.
friends.
Yeah.
They're on a first name
Yeah.
basis.
It's either The Rock or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I feel.
For us.
Or Dwayne. He's rebranded, though, to just Dwayne Johnson.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, it's obviously you can still call him The Rock, because, like, come on, he's The Rock. But I think he's rebranded. It says in the beginning of the movie, it just says Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, it
doesn't
is.
say The Rock.
I think WWE technically owns The Rock
The
title.
Rock.
That's interesting. That's a good point.
Because I know that they own the character names typically.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like they own the personas and the characters, so that
We
they
need
can
to
have
call
like,
our resident WWE, analyst. I don't know who in our friend group watches WWE. But
My
someone does.
brother-in-law is the e-commerce director of WWE, the one who we are trying to get onto the
really?
show. Yeah, he actually.
Hell
Oh my
yeah.
God!
Let's bring
Why
him on.
didn't we get him on?
Let's
I
bring him on.
just saw him yesterday, and I was like, "We want to get you on the show." And he goes, "Tell me a movie." And I was like, "We're watching Red Notice." He goes, "I already watched it, loved it." And I was like, "Oh,
Hey, all right.
would have been a good one to
All
get
right,
him on."
viewers.
But he is a brand new baby, so
Viewers.
they're
True.
a little busy, and
Well, yeah, you're an uncle
I
now.
am.
He's an
Officially
uncle.
an uncle.
Uncle Joe.
Yes, thank you.
Congrats to Joey and his life events.
I worked really hard for this,
Congratulations
so.
You did.
But yeah,
Well, congrats on Angela and
Yes.
Mike on,
Yes.
on their baby, not just Joey. He's just an
Congrats.
uncle.
he's an
luck.
avid listener, so he should hear this.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Awesome.
There you go.
But yeah, he's my
All right,
WWE
so-
expert.
All right, yes, we got to bring him on. Yo, 25 likes on this video. We'll try to bring him on. Kevin?
25. Those are baby numbers
Yeah.
now. Oh wait, likes. You're talking likes.
Likes, dude. Likes.
Okay. What did I think about Red Notice? I don't think it was bad. I thought it was like pretty good.
So soft 65% from Kevin.
I didn't actively hate myself while I was watching this movie. If that makes sense. Like I wasn't like, man, I could be doing a million other things right now.
Yeah.
It's a good Sunday watch. Not much to do. Just throwing something on. Yeah, it's a heist movie. Like it's like like Joe said, it's just almost cookie cutter, like a lot of like typical tropes in there.
Nazi art.
So if you don't get annoyed by that stuff, then like it's cool. I like the interactions between The Rock and Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
I thought they were good on screen together. I don't know. I don't think I've seen them in a movie together. I don't know if they've been in a movie like co-starring like side by side. So I enjoyed that. Julia enjoyed that too. Yeah, I think it was just pretty good. Like it wasn't bad. It was average.
Yeah, I agree, Kevin.
Right?
I think that was definitely. So I guess I'll just go into my first reactions kind of off of that. But my take on the movie is essentially the first half of the movie. I wasn't like thrilled. Like I love Ryan Reynolds. I love seeing him on screen, and I like it when directors give him the like runway to kind of just like
Be himself.
be himself and like be witty and be like very like sarcastic and almost break the fourth wall sometimes. Like I think that is his best role, and he's like seems very natural in that role. And I felt that a lot in this movie, but the beginning didn't thrill me. I thought they stuck the landing at the end. That's my opinion.
So, wait, can I chime in real quick? Speaking of him kind of breaking the fourth wall, he at one point references, this isn't a spoiler, but he references some guards as featured extras. And I thought that was really funny because they're literally
it was so funny.
Featured extras on the movie. They're not like, instead of calling them guards.
But going back to that, and Ryan Reynolds kind of either like breaking the fourth wall or, kind of running with like his the wittiness and all that. Like, did that annoy you guys at all? Because to me, I was just like, am I just watching like Deadpool doing a heist? Like, it just felt the same to me. It felt like the same character he always plays, which might not be a bad thing, but I don't know.
I know what you mean.
Was that necessary?
I know what you mean. It didn't feel like...
Or is he just perfect for that role? That's why,
That's very much who he is. Like, when he's in a role and he's given that runway. Like, I actually just watched Free Guy as well with Ryan Reynolds. And there's a lot of that comedy in the movie Free Guy. Probably less so than this movie, but... Like, when Ryan Reynolds is kind of given, like, runway to, like, make jokes and crack wise, I'm sure that a lot of this stuff is kind of, like, improv lines from him, Because the way he delivers it is very in character for him and his acting. But go ahead, Jim.
I get what you guys mean. He plays pretty much the same character in all of his movies, which is why I believe it's, like, him. Like James is saying, like, it's his lines coming through, not really, like, scripted. But there were times when I was like, okay, like, you are supposed to be this world-renowned art thief. Like, you should have some kind of class or finesse to you.
Some suave.
Yeah, some kind of suave, like, Bond-esque, like, vibe. And he just feels like a guy who's just, like, walking into a museum and, like, boop, taking this, like, picture off the wall and now it's mine. Like, and it just doesn't... That's where it kind of, like... I didn't feel like he really played
like,
this
I'm going to
role.
Steal this artwork. Pop culture reference. Now I'm going to leave with the artwork. Pop culture
That's
reference.
very much Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I do feel, though, that he had, like he definitely comes off as, like, this nerdy, like, quirky guy. But his, like, in the movie, I think they did a good job of, like, drawing a clear difference between his character and John Hartley and the Bishop, which are kind of like the main three characters in the movie, because John Hartley and the Bishop, like Gal Gadot and Dwayne The Rock Johnson's character, they're very good at fighting, whereas Ryan Reynolds' character is not. Like, he just runs, you know what I mean? He, like, tricks you,
right.
He, like, grabs something, he's very good at, like, sleight of hand, but he can't run, or he can't fight. So they don't like throw it. Like, I feel like a lot of movies do that, where like apparently everyone and their mother has combat training and can like just like throw down fisticuffs and have a fight sequence that isn't like absolute garbage. Yeah. Okay. So, boys, what are we doing for click play or keep scrolling? We'll start with Kevin because I started with Joey before.
I think I'm clicking play.
Tentative.
I think it could change if you persuade me one way or the other, or we'll see what conversations we have about the movie and what revelations I have during it, because that's when that's when I'm on best, when we're just chatting and have like a quick revelation of like,
Yeah.
oh, this movie was actually terrible. So I'll give it a play for now, but it might change.
Okay. Joey.
So I'm kind of in the same boat. I definitely would press play. I'm stronger click play because it's definitely an entertaining movie. But there were a lot of plot holes and kind of unrealistic things that happened in this movie that are not referenced at all. And they're just like, they were in my mind. I'm like, well, if you're going to do a heist movie, like, there's got to be some kind of explanation for it, but they didn't touch on it at all. So that was the only part that I was like a little bit annoyed with. But I'm also like, you know what? It's just pure entertainment. It's not meant to be like an Ocean's 11 or 12 where they have every detail perfectly figured out. So I'm going to press play on this one. I do think I might actually convince Kevin to switch
To scroll.
when I start talking about my gripes, but we'll see.
Yeah. I'm actually going to go. Like, I did like this movie, but I'm going to go with a soft scroll here because I think that the movie took too long to become interesting, you know, in my opinion. Like, I feel like for a long period of the movie, I was kind of just watching Ryan Reynolds and The Rock talk. And I was like, I mean, it's entertaining, but like, I was like, I don't even know. Like, the plot wasn't interesting to me at all. And I wasn't like galvanized by the plot. It was like not until the last 25 minutes where I was like, okay, I'm on board here. So I'm going to go with a soft scroll. Again, open to conversation, but I'm interested. I like that we're all kind of riding that line. You know what I mean? Don't really know where we're going to go.
Oh, no, I'm
We're all-
strong play. I like this
you're
movie.
strong?
I really liked it.
Oh,
Nice.
But
Okay. Okay.
I'm actually really shocked by you, James. I thought I would be the opposite. I thought you're going to be a strong play and Kevin was going to be kind of a soft scroll. But
No.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised by this setup right now
Yeah.
too, because this felt like a James pressing play movie, but he's scrolling. So now everything's all off. Now I'm all out of whack. We might need to cancel the recording. Let me
no, now
breathe
I just
first.
can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Stick around.
Well, speaking of that, why don't we just send it then into, let's get after first reactions and everyone else. We're going to take a short break from to hear from our sponsor. We'll talk to you in a second.
On this break,
Talk
you
much?
could subscribe to our YouTube channel too. So
Subscribe. We love it.
cool.
All right. Welcome back, guys.
James, you only went silent on the one. You should have gone you should have given
2, 1.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
But now we're talking about the countdown.
You
so.
were debating on whether to do it for real. Or
Listen, that's what happens, all right? If we're trying to line things up, sometimes you just got to send it. All right. Welcome back. After first reactions, we're in a spoiler-heavy zone. If you didn't subscribe already, make sure you go subscribe. We appreciate it. We love it. We love to see you come back. So make sure you do that. All right, boys. Do we want to get rolling on gripes or just general thoughts of the movie? Anyone feel strongly?
Let's kind of take it chronological because I feel like I have some pros and cons. I want to talk about the
especially with
opening
Okay.
museum scene.
So the opening museum scene, I personally thought it started pretty strong. I liked like the chase and like the intro of the dynamic between The Rock's character and Ryan Reynolds' character, especially because it showed Ryan Reynolds kind of like in the role that I wanted him to be, where we talked about it before, where he's making the fake egg and he's like basically doing a quick switch and he's trying to get away without hurting anybody. Like, I thought that was a very interesting character for an art thief. Like, he's truly a thief, not like an assassin or anything. You know?
So, but see, this is where my first issues came in. Was like the fact that, like, in movies that are supposed to be kind of out there, like, I'm okay suspending like my belief and just like
accepting certain
okay,
things.
this is a
Yeah.
movie, accepting things. But when it's so obviously just like, oh, that's just like ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, okay, I start to lose it. Like, when does Coke just become acid? Like, that's like, like if you pour Coke on something, it's not just gonna melt
Dissolve.
it completely.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like he made it out of like sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's probably paint. Like, it's not. I don't
It's
know.
like
And I was like,
plastic
that's
and
kind of
paint.
weird.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, he had the egg. Why didn't he leave? Why was he
Hanging
just
around,
standing there
yeah.
looking at it?
Now, to Kevin's point about both of your points about the chase scene, like, I actually enjoyed that scene. I thought it kind of felt like a video game. I felt like I was watching, like, someone play not King Kong. Oh my god, Donkey Kong! I was
Kong.
like, what the
Donkey
Kong?
Kong.
Where you
The Rock is just at the top of a ladder with barrels
Yeah.
throwing them down.
He's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
like it just was. It felt like a video game kind of aspect where you can see like everything happening straight on, and there's multi levels type of thing.
Yeah.
But
You're talking about the scaffolding, like literally the
Yes.
scaffolding, where he's like going and like unpinning the scaffolding as he's going up. See, yeah, I thought that was fun. I agree, Joey. I think it's like a fun,
but again,
sequence.
here's my other gripe. Now you have the world's biggest art thieves who. He's made it clear he's not doing this for the money. So, like, he clearly has an appreciation for art, and yet he's perfectly okay with destroying art on his way out to, like...
Well, he doesn't have an appreciation for art. The reason that he's stealing things is because he wants to be
Just a
famous. Yeah, he wants
Yeah,
to be known
yeah,
as the
that's
world's
true.
biggest thief.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I give you guys a trope that I really hate?
Yeah.
Like, some tropes I'm okay with. I'm like, all right, like, that makes sense. Some I just fucking despise.
Yeah.
And it's the one where someone gets suspicious, so they look into the area where they think they heard something, but they don't look around the
Yeah.
corner.
Or they don't check it out completely.
And that
Yeah.
happened with the van. Now, obviously, that plays into like the twist at the end, but it happened a couple times in the movie where they hear something.
And they just don't
and
look
he looks
all
around,
the way.
and he's at the car, and she's pinned up
Yeah.
against the wall.
Yeah.
But he doesn't look around the car.
Yeah, that
and
scene-
it's like,
Which also, like,
with
the
twist being that scene
driver...
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
driver of the car could have easily seen her from the side view
side
mirror.
view
I was like, what?
It's true.
But
Yeah.
hey, why are they?
Again, I think that this movie has a level of like, because it's like a fun movie, you do kind of have to give it like, this movie felt very like Indiana Jonesy at points. It felt very
Well, yeah, it's a very obvious
yeah,
reference
exactly,
to Indiana Jones.
exactly. Especially when what's it called, when he's like wearing the hat, the Ryan Reynolds.
Oh my
is
God.
He
wearing.
literally
Yeah.
whistles
Yeah.
the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah,
It's so
he
funny.
whistles
It's so
going.
funny.
well, it's funny. Amanda came in
Um,
and watched like 5 minutes of it, and she was like, "This reminds me of National Treasure," and I was like, "Kind of, but it's more International Treasure." And I was like, "That would have been a better name for this movie."
That's true.
Julia, and we'll talk about the part at the end anyway, but Julia was watching it with me, and she was like, this is like that movie with Shia LaBeouf and Harrison Ford. I was like,
Oh my gosh. She said
Well,
Shia
it's
LaBeouf
Indiana
before
Jones,
Harrison
but
Ford?
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
I was like, he's in like the worst movie of the series, but yeah.
Why do you remember Shia LaBeouf from Indiana Jones? What's it called? But
anyway.
and additionally, like in the beginning, Joey, it feels a lot like. Have either of you ever played the Nathan Drake? What is it called? Uncharted games.
Uncharted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you played any of them?
I started them
Mm-hmm.
on my PlayStation 4, but I never really finished them.
I feel like this movie, in my opinion, is going to be a better Uncharted movie than the Uncharted movie that they're trying to come out with. Like,
Oh boy,
it feels
that
like
could be a bold statement.
yeah, it feels like Ryan Reynolds is like a perfect because like Nathan Drake's kind of like a wisecracking like art thief or like it's like more of historical, not art. But this also isn't this isn't art. This is like a historical treasure, right? Like this isn't like
This definitely is definitely not an art thief in like
we're talking about
circumstance
historical
because
treasure.
He's literally stealing an artifact.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's still
What is
art.
that, art?
It's still art. It's the same way that like
it was art, but when does art become an artifact?
I think almost all artifacts are considered art today because it's like
I
the
guess.
like everything was
I guess
handmade
you're getting it on
back
a
then.
technicality.
So it's kind of like
Hmm.
or most
But
things.
it's like
I guess.
it's
But do you call them an art thief or a
I think it's an art.
I
thief
think I
still.
get
a
treasure
treasure
thief.
a treasure
Treasure
thief.
hunter?
treasure hunter. Yeah.
treasure
That'd be
hunter.
awesome. I wish I could put treasure hunter. Like, how much treasure hunting do I need to do so that I can put that as a special skill on my resume?
I feel like if you buy like a metal detector and walk on the beach with it
You're
once
officially a treasure
and
hunter.
find something metal,
Yeah.
like you could put treasure on.
Yeah,
Where does it
that's
find
like
anything?
that's
yeah, you're just hunting. Yeah,
yeah. That's like people that like can like speak a few words or a few sentences in another language. Say that they're like proficient in speaking X language on their resume.
Oh yeah.
No, because you're not saying you're a proficient,
not proficient.
treasure hunter.
Yeah.
You're just saying you are. Yes, I can say bookshelf in German, and I could say I can speak words in German, but I can't speak German.
I can speak word in most languages.
Bucherregal, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there should be more movies in this genre because I feel like it's very fun and it's less like because I feel like there's a ton of military movies. There's a lot of alien movies.
I think this
there's
is a
lot
typical kids genre movie where it's
Yeah.
kind of like Journey to the Center of the Earth, or like it kind of gave me Jumanji vibes too at some points.
Yeah.
But I do think that it would be more fun to watch these like as an adult with like serious themes and like funny
Yeah.
banter that is targeted towards
Yeah,
our demographic.
Agreed.
That's why I enjoyed
movie
this.
Did have, yeah, I agreed. I did think so. I thought it was a fun movie. My biggest problem with it was the fact that I was very uninterested with the plot until the twist happened. Like that was my biggest.
So
gripe.
you
It's
didn't see
like-
that coming at all?
No, I did. That's the thing. It's like I saw
knew
it.
there was going to be a twist
when-
in this
when
movie.
the-
Didn't see that twist.
Yeah, when the guy was like shooting them, and he like does the thing where he like rips his hand out, and he's like, "How did you get free?" He's like, "Shot it. Guess we were lucky." I'm like, "Oh, he's working with Gal Gadot." Yeah,
See,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
That
that was
was
pretty
late,
late
yeah.
in the movie. That was
Yeah.
late. That was like.
But
at
that's
the
what I'm
end.
saying is I wasn't interested until that point. I was like, "Oh, okay," because
Which-
it's like very like, "Oh, this is literally what happens the whole movie, right? This is the whole movie. It's Ryan Reynolds and The Rock go and find an egg, right? And they're like about to get the egg, and then Gal Gadot takes it. She gets the upper hand, and then she takes it because neither of them have guns when they're getting the egg. And then they go and they have a plan, and they go and they get the egg, and then Gal Gadot takes it.
So I'll say this, because there were a lot of plot holes in this movie that are also like skeptical, but they also do a good job at covering up why the twist at the end could be kind of surprising. For example, like
Yeah.
they explain why and how Gal Gadot framed Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as an FBI agent.
Yes.
But at the same time, if he was truly an FBI agent, you would never shoot at another law enforcement person.
No. No.
The
Right.
second that he
They
didn't,
definitely give you.
there
the
was a lot of
clues.
clues. The first clue was when he said, "I'm the bad guy," and I was like, "Oh, like maybe he's not being like sarcastic or like ironic." So I was like, that was my first kind of speculation. But then the
Like
second that
QN.
he didn't actually like handcuff Ryan Reynolds at the masquerade ball, I was like, "Oh, he's a bad guy. Like he's also an art thief. He's probably like
Right.
he's probably the real like bishop or like some like higher art thief that's."
I thought that he was
and
going to be
just-
the one that was bankrolling, like the whole op. Like I thought he was going to be the guy that was like interested in getting the eggs, not like like how like at the end they're like,
Oh, the Egyptian
here's like
dad.
this bazillionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I thought he was going to be like that guy.
Which also kind of made no sense, because if you have these 3 eggs that were all like so
Stolen.
publicly stolen, and you have this other guy who's so publicly giving it to his daughter, like, wouldn't you be
Right.
like-
That's exactly what I said.
He's
I was
an
like,
idiot.
I said, Julia, like the cops can just like go to
Yeah.
the wedding and then like stop chasing these guys, let them steal it, and then go to the wedding
And reclaim it.
like,
It's not
arrest
going to
the
be like,
guy.
"Oh, here's your
And
wedding
then-
gift, keep it a secret." Like, it's a very
Yeah.
public wedding. Ed Sheeran was there.
Yeah. That Ed Sheeran scene was so funny.
Loved it.
That was so
so
Oh,
not.
I
funny.
Oh my
loved
god,
it.
are you kidding me?
It was amazing.
That was
That was
hilarious.
so
I
great.
was just like, this is
No,
this-
it
I
was
love that they
so
shove Ed
stupid, but it
Sheeran,
was
and
so
he turns
forced
around.
that it was so funny.
Yeah. It was like I was
Because
like,
I
The
was in
line
Game of
quoted
Thrones.
says, I was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fucking. Or it's
It
like
was-
I'm Ed
I was
Sheeran,
like,
bitch.
and this is, and I was like, this is equally as shitty an appearance as your appearance. In
I
Game
think
of
I
that's
loved his
what it
appearance
was.
in Game of Thrones.
No, I think
No, they both suck. They were so. It's so weird.
it was so out of place, but
I'm
I
watching
think that's
Game of
why they
Thrones.
said it to like acknowledge like this isn't supposed to be like a serious plot point. This is supposed to be
Yeah.
like a very stupid
supposed to be
joke
funny.
here. And it's like,
Yeah.
let's make fun of him being in Game of Thrones too. So that's why I was like, I can actually laugh at this and not be like mad that they were trying to like make the daughter be like a teen pop fan over type of thing.
Yeah. I find myself laughing at Ryan Reynolds movies out loud. 'Cause
Same.
I honestly think he's funny.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
I don't know why when
He's
he
really
dropped
funny.
the 3rd egg, I was like dying.
That was so funny. It's
It
'cause
was so
it's
predictable,
like, it's,
so like cliche, but it was
his-
just funny. Like,
yeah, his timing, like he has incredible comedic timing. I don't think his material is like insanely funny. I just think he picks like the perfect moment to throw in a joke. You know?
You know what was a hilarious part in the movie that really got me laughing? Was when he goes up to the Russian security guard and he's browsing Putin's Instagram.
That was really
all pictures of Putin. I was like, this is the funniest thing that they've come up with. But other than that, I don't know. There were some funny lines, but it wasn't like laugh out.
No,
Do you want to know? I think this is the funniest part of the funniest. Can I just work quick? The funniest like part of the movie, in my opinion, I think was the bull scene, like the bull matador scene, when he's like trying to quote. He's like, "You can't move, you can't move. They're gonna do whatever." And he's like, "Dude, that's Jurassic Park." And he's like, "No, you can't move.
Yeah.
You can't move."
Yes.
And he's like, the whole crowd in Spanish is telling me to run, and he's like,
I watched this documentary starring David Attenborough, and he's like, that's Richard Attenborough. You're thinking of Jurassic
and then he
Park.
goes, "Is Jeff Goldblum in it?" And then he goes, "Oh shit, Jeff Goldblum is in it. It is Jurassic Park."
That was funny.
was
It
so
was
good.
so funny,
You're
but
right.
like
You're right.
the same thing also with the beginning scene. Like the CGI, the green screen was so bad in this movie that it just never felt like they were actually like where they said they
So
were.
bad.
That's true.
That was just like
I
I,
will
feel like they
s-
just
the
filmed this in
bull-
a studio and they were
yeah.
like, let's go to Mexico now, let's go to Europe,
Yeah.
let's go to China, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. They go to all these places.
it's like a
but
kid
it's
who
all,
just
like,
like
they all,
experienced like iMovie green screen for the first time.
It's true. But I will say is the CGI bull in this movie is 100 times better than the CGI dogs in Corolla.
I
in my
disagree.
opinion.
I don't
Yes.
know. I disagree
Yeah.
with that.
Yes.
It was so bad.
They're close. I don't think
Yeah.
it's 100 times better, but it's
So
definitely better.
that also brings me now to another gripe that I had, where you have these international, like, criminals, and they are traveling the globe so effortlessly. I know that they
Yes.
like mentioned the one guy who has like the plane for them, but they still need to have like some sort of passport or clearance, and never
I'm
once.
sure they have fake passports.
Yeah.
Why would
You know,
The Rock have a fake passport? He's supposed to be an FBI agent.
I'm
Also, like, they wouldn't have time to get their fake
Yeah,
passports.
like
they escape prison,
true.
and then they're
And
on
they
a
literally
train,
say like 20
and,
hours
like,
later. Like, there's no way that that's just where I was like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
or suspend disbelief
yeah,
here.
to suspend that.
It didn't
Yeah.
bother me, but I was just like, in a normal like heist movie or like international like getaway, like that is usually the hardest part that they spend so much of the plot on. It's like, how are we going to get out of this city? How are we going to get out of
X
the country?
place.
How are we going
Yeah.
to get out? And it's just like, then they go
That's
do
literally
like they
what
don't mention that
Extraction's about.
once.
Yeah, Extraction is literally about getting out of a city. Like the entire movie is about getting out of a
Yeah.
city with like a high wanted person, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like in this movie,
They did a whole movie about
yeah,
it.
they did a whole movie
Took
about
them
one
a
city.
whole hour and a half to do that. Yeah. No, I get that gripe. I that doesn't bother me too much. What really? Can I give you another like stupid gripe about this movie?
Yes.
And it's just like maybe it's just a slip or something. But when they go to find the bunker at the end,
Yes.
with the third egg in it, and they follow the map to the exact directions, and they're like, "Oh, there's no bunker here. What the heck?"
There's no
yeah, and he
big
throws the
crates
thing down and it
everywhere.
goes clunk.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be like, okay, it's here. It's probably underground because it's
It's
fucking
been hidden
bunker.
for so
Like,
many
that's
years.
where they go.
Yeah.
That's where they go. How many times have you seen a bunker, or you've heard the word bunker and thought that it's just like
Exposed.
a building like, sitting outside? Literally, your first thought is, "Oh, that's underground.
Yeah.
It's a bunker where Hitler was hiding his art. That is gonna be underground. It's not gonna be sitting
Yeah.
in the middle of.
They,
They would have found it
they
already.
like walk there and there's like a tarp over a huge building that kind of looks like flora and fauna.
Where's
The whole
bunker?
setting was just so cheesy too. It's just like crappy like paper mache trees with like fake leaves, and it's just like,
Yeah,
but
I liked
The worst.
I thought it was funny, but it was
I
so what I'm
enjoyed it.
saying is like after the whole scene with the evil, was he Italian? Was the evil guy Italian or was he Russian? I feel like he was the
What do you
The-
think?
evil guy that was working with
Masquerade
Gal Gadot. Yeah, masquerade guy.
I think they were in Spain actually.
Wasn't he
I think they were in
Spanish?
Valencia.
Oh, you're right
Yeah.
because they were in Spain. Right,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So he's Spanish, but for some reason I thought he was. Why did I think he was Russian? Maybe it's
A
because
lot
they were
of the-
just in Russia before
They
that.
were in Russia
and then,
a
like,
lot of the time.
Took a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
They jump
Yeah.
around.
They jump around a lot.
So effortlessly.
And then
Yeah.
also, something else stupid. Why, after they drove through the waterfall and they landed in the water, and Ryan Reynolds got out of the water, and he's soaking wet, Dwayne Johnson was, like, bone dry. Like, he didn't... Like, how
I
did
think it
that
was
happen?
bone dry. I did notice he was a little wet, but I think
His shirt was not
I think
wet.
it was.
No, his shirt would have been soaked. You just drove through a waterfall and then landed in the water and then swam out of the water.
Yes, he should have been wet.
I need to
Ken
pull.
confirm.
No, but I think he was.
I'm mad
I
about
don't
that,
think-
too. No, he was.
I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna watch the movie right now again, and
I don't believe you, Kevin, is what Joey said.
Yeah,
because
I
I
know,
remember
you never
thinking that,
believe
and then I was
You're
like,
pulling a me and you're pulling
Yeah.
up the movie. No, he's not dry.
Yeah. I just think that, like, I think that there's elements of this that you can't look too deep into the movie. It's very, like,
You're right.
you know,
You're right.
it's like, it's kind of doing it to be cool and interesting. Like, this isn't a realistic movie, you know, and it's not supposed to be. I do like, how do you guys feel about the fact that they very clearly, like, set up a second one?
I liked it.
I don't know if it was very
He's wet in
clearly
this.
I think
because
so.
they're already going to the Louvre, so they're probably going to do that job right now.
Mm-hmm.
But like it is lending itself to say, oh, now they're going to do stuff together. But that next heist they're talking about, I think they're literally about to do. So unless they just pick up
Yeah.
right at that point, it'll be about something.
So-
I think that that'll be, like, the intro to the next movie. Go ahead, Joey. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
want to point out he is wet in that scene. He is bald, so he just doesn't
certainly
have
is
like
not.
wet hair or any like facial hair.
No, I'm talking about
I know,
his
but his shirt is just
dude.
dark green, so it's not going to be like darker. It just you can't really tell. It's definitely wet.
But you would
there is
know-
like
you
water
would-
on him.
The
Yeah,
wet conversation.
but
No.
I
Welcome to the
digress.
wet
We'll
feud of 2021.
watch the movie and let us know what you think if he's wet or not. But I think the next movie.
Is The Rock wet?
Phrase it, Joey.
No, I think
what
the
did
next.
you think about the cliffhanger for the end?
I think the next movie will kind of end or start either like right after that heist or like right in the middle, and they'll be like
Yeah, I
getting
think
caught
so.
and then get out, and then they'll be like, okay, we're working as a team now. But
I like the idea of them working together. I feel like that's going to be a much more entertaining movie.
yeah, and
They already worked together.
but
they
all
didn't really
three
work
together.
Exactly.
'Cause
I
that was
wouldn't
the
say
other
they
thing,
all
they
worked
didn't
together.
really, like-
Gal Gadot and Ryan Reynolds never worked together.
No,
it
and they
was
didn't
Dwayne The Rock
really-
Johnson and Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot and Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
They
There's
didn't
two
really
pairs.
explain how they communicated with each other on certain things, and
Mm-hmm.
that was another gripe I had. Also, the Interpol agent kind of sucked. Like,
Yeah,
it was
she did.
probably the worst.
She was really good at
agent.
coming in too late.
Oh, wait. Also, like, it's time to shoot. Like, you know, the criminal is
Yeah.
right in front of you. He's about to escape. Like, time to shoot, type of thing. And
Yeah. Can we talk about how many functioning fucking cars were in that art vault? There were just
No way that gas was still good in those
First,
cars.
they were like, maybe this one pristine, untouched car works, and they're like, all right, cool, we're gonna take that car, and then they take it and they run, and it just barely gets running, and then the Interpol agent and like the 6 other guys find 3 other cars with 50 cals that are just like ready to go.
that whole scene kind of bothered me. I was like, there's no way that, like, you could get all these in there, and all these people are just like. I was like, that was way too long. It's like, that should have been like a 2-minute scene, not. I think it was like 6
In
minutes.
addition-
It felt like.
Yeah, I think that was the dumbest sequence because at the end, right? Like, there's a part of the scene where it's like the Interpol agent's car, and then Gal Gadot's driving the other car, right? And Gal Gadot and her are like pulling on the bag, and then Dwayne The Rock Johnson's fighting a guy in Gal Gadot's car, and then Ryan Reynolds is fighting a guy in the other person's car, and that they're the only 2 cars left, right? Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Ryan Reynolds are both able to kick the guys off the car. So at one point, it's like the only person of law enforcement that's still there is the Interpol agent. So if they just stopped the car, they didn't have to go through the waterfall. There's only one person there, and all of you have guns. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they still need to get away. They still need to, like, get out.
Yeah, but you can, like, get out without launching yourself into a waterfall. Like, everyone else
and
has
risk
crashed.
the car
Yeah.
falling on you and crushing
Yeah.
you underwater.
Eh.
Like, you can, park the car and, like, dive off the waterfall.
Not concerned. The whole
Not as
set
cool,
looked fake,
though.
but it didn't feel like very dangerous.
That's true. You saw like the fall bag in the water or whatever. Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like it
but yeah.
was kind of stupid. There was a lot of like holes and
Yeah.
misled.
But that was clearly the climax. Like that's what they were building to. It's like that's like the climax, the action sequence of the movie.
When they all get
and
wet.
it was cool. When they all get wet.
Well, we don't know. The Rock is a
pretty
mystery
dry,
on whether
pretty
he's
dry.
wet or
I think
not.
just because he's
Rock's a
bald,
dry
it's hard
guy.
to tell. Which also reminds me, I love that line. He goes,
Hey,
"Why are
The
you wearing
Rock."
a hairnet? You're bald."
That was funny. There was a lot of funny rhymes.
Hey,
There's a lot of good lines.
That was funny.
The Rock, if you're listening to this podcast, please, reach out to us and let me know if you're wet.
Clip.
Which, like, how does the Interpol have so much communication with all of these art criminals who just keep like giving them all this
elude
information?
them.
Like the whole thing was that
They're just
the
best
bishop
friends with all
gave
the art
Interpol the information about Ryan Reynolds trying to steal the egg that day, which also never really explained how she knew that because she was never working with him and he wasn't working with him yet either. But they just kept turning each other in and getting away together.
Yeah.
Like,
The Interpol is so in the dark on everything. They just get played left and right. They're so incompetent.
that's,
Yeah.
I think,
In
my
this
favorite
movie,
like
Interpol is
American
not
trope
painted
is
in
that
the
they
right
just like
light.
always
Yeah.
shit on the competency of Interpol.
Of like law enforcement or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Where it's like all the cops are like bumping into each other as they're trying to like chase down the main character, And
Yeah.
you're like, I feel like if one person, you know what I mean, is in the right spot at the right time with a pistol, like you got him. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
shoot.
what I mean?
Time to shoot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
shoot the foot. Something. Like,
It's so funny. It was good. I like talking about it now. I do think that I actually liked the beginning of this movie too. I didn't just like the end. 'Cause it was like it was fun to watch.
It's
Like it
fun
was a
to
fun to
watch.
watch movie. The Rock and
It's a little
long. Brian Reynolds and The Rock are a fun duo. Like I do think that they played very well off of each other. And the plot wasn't interesting in the beginning, but I don't think it needed to be because it was more of like a characters doing cool things movie than like we really give a shit about these eggs movie.
yeah. The Rock does
yeah.
good with like funny guys. Like him and Kevin Hart are a good duo.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's good to play off of. Because like Dwayne The Rock Johnson is just like he's like such a like an insane. He's like such like a force on screen, I guess. Like when Dwayne The Rock Johnson, like if there's a crowd of fucking people, you can spot Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
Like so it's very like he lends himself to like he's very good at being the focal point of a movie and also like having some. He is like the person that he's with, and he always has something to play off of. The fact that like he's like so much stronger than the other guy, or like he like like I love the Ryan Reynolds is like he's like first like you caught me, congratulations. Second, where did you get that coat? It's like it's an
It's a
attraction
statement piece.
And yeah, it's a statement piece. And then in the next scene, he's wearing the coat. And then,
I don't think I even noticed that. That's great.
yeah,
I don't think I noticed
in
that
the
either.
plane.
That
He's
is
wearing
funny.
the same outfit that Dwayne The Rock Johnson was wearing in the beginning of the movie.
Get
Yeah.
out. I don't think I
Yeah,
noticed
it was
that at
so
all.
funny.
Now I'm going to go back and take a look. Yeah, that's good. That I'll give him that. I didn't notice that.
Like it's funny. Like he's very good. Like, and I do think that works well with The Rock. That he is a like makes fun of himself, makes fun of everybody, kind of like guy. But yeah, okay. Do you guys have anything else before we start reining it into like the game and the double down?
No.
Nothing.
Cool. All right, so let's play the game first. Or double down first. How we feel?
Game first. Yeah.
Game.
All right. So the game first. So what do you think the Metascore was for this movie? Joey, let's start with you. Joey's not ready. I make you go first, Joey, because
I know.
you
You
changed your
think I'm
answer
going to
too
change my
much.
mind. I'm still going to change my mind. Don't worry. I'm going to say 64. No changing mind on this
64. No change in mind. You're locked in. 64. All right. Kevin.
I feel like I say that number like all the time.
I don't think this breaks 60. I think it's a 57.
57. Joey said
Yeah.
64. Kevin said 57. You guys are going to be shocked.
Is it a 70?
Metascore gave this.
42.
It's a 70.
Metascore
42.
gave this a 37.
Wow.
They hated
Yeah.
it. They
What?
hated it.
Yeah, they
yeah.
hated
No
They
way.
hated it. It wasn't that
Yeah.
bad.
That's ridiculous.
No, it wasn't that bad. It's way better than 37.
That's what I love about
Yeah.
this game, because the fact
no
that it
fucking
gave
idea.
it a lower score than American Pickle blows
Is
my
nuts.
mind.
Dude, I'm telling you, American
No,
Pickle's
it's
a
not.
better movie
No,
than
it's
any
That's
of
not.
them.
That's not.
It's
No,
trash
it's not.
as
It's a
hell.
bad movie.
Like,
I'm telling you,
this was
it
like an
is.
actual entertaining movie, good production value, good.
Yeah.
I'll say this: the script, Ryan Reynolds' lines, like every 5 lines, he had a good line, and then the other 4 were
Yeah.
kind of trash or cheesy. Like the fact that he was like, "Where's the worst place in the world?" and he was like, "Your Instagram account." Like, stupid line, but
Yeah, not
He
funny. And
had-
you brought it up twice.
yes, he had some great lines in this, and more than one that I was like, "Okay, entertaining. Keep throwing shit at the wall. Let's see what sticks." I'm shocked by that. I really thought this was going to be like actually like a 70s.
Yeah.
Metascore.
I would have put this at like mid 50s. I would have been mid 50s here. Like comfortably mid 50s. Could be higher. I could have seen this being the 60s.
Yeah,
But like 37 is absolutely too low. Like not even
way too
close.
low.
Okay. So, time to see if everybody's doubling down. I actually think that you guys might double down on this. I don't like we had a lot of gripes, but I don't think that I don't sense hate from that side of the room, you know.
I think Kevin might change,
so let's-
but
Let's start with Joey.
I'm
'Cause I
doubling
think Joe's
down.
gonna
I
do
think this
one.
is a good, entertaining movie. I think it fills that kind of like adventure spirit that like you watch as a kid, and it's made for an
Yeah.
adult. So I like that. I'm doubling down. Press
I
play.
agree. Nice. Kevin.
I think I'm gonna double down. I think I'm still press and play, skeptically still. It's not the best thing in the world, but if you got nothing to do on like a Sunday, like you're not gonna be disappointed.
This is a good
Yeah.
family movie, in my
I
opinion.
agree. I
Yeah,
also
sure.
think it's a good
Yeah,
family movie.
yeah, yep.
Yeah. I'm not going to double down. I am going to click play on this
Hey.
one. I think it's a good movie. I
Yeah,
think it's a
let's
good
go.
movie. It's worth a watch. Like I didn't hate the beginning, you know what I mean? And I didn't like cuz for me I look at the plot and I'm like, okay, does this engage me? But then halfway through I was like, I don't really care about this, but I didn't need to, you know? Like the characters were good enough and like the content of like what they were saying was good enough and entertaining enough where you don't really necessarily need like the best plot.
And I
you
think
know?
they keep you
Yeah.
active. It keeps it move. The story's always kind of moving forward. That you don't feel like you're caught up in like a how do they do that or how did that? Why was
Yeah.
that so easy? Like there's always something going on that keeps you engaged.
Agreed.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, click play, click play, click play. The boys like this movie. I think that's good. I think it's worth the 3 click plays. You know, it's also not terribly long. It's under 2 hours.
It was 2:11,
It's
I
like
think.
155.
Oh, I
right?
thought it was just over actually, but
It's like 155.
Yeah, I think it's
157,
2 under.
58.
Is it? Yeah.
So
Okay.
just under.
Well, thank you all for watching. We really appreciate it. Make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. We said it before. We want you to subscribe. We're trying to grow our base. If you're watching this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, feel free to, leave us a review if possible. We put questions up on Spotify. Answer those questions. Let us know what you want us to watch. Let us know what you thought of the movie down below in the comments on YouTube, and leave us a like as well. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.